So now let's talk about moon square moon aspect in synastry, which is usually seen as a challenging aspect because of the square, and it does represent a point of tension between these two energies when they're interacting with each other. And the friction is found in the emotional basis and in our sense of comfort and our sense of security. So there's usually a sense of misreading or misunderstanding each other quite easily and frequently with this aspect. But at the same time, there's also this very strong will and eagerness to get it right and understand what the other is feeling, what the other is thinking, what the other is needing, right? So I see that this is a very interesting aspect, and usually very common in relationships that have lasted a while and even marriages. So it's exactly to the point where most people find challenging to settle down or leave with another person is exactly because there needs to be an attunement and a compromise and an understanding and a learning that it's not effortless about what brings each other comfort, what brings each other emotional satisfaction and peace. And having the will and the interest in actually understanding the other is something that it's not for everybody, but in this aspect, they feel compelled to do it, actually, even though it's challenging, because they take it as a challenge, but because also, being that the two moons are in aspect with each other, they do have a connection. They do feel each other quite strongly. They usually just speak different soul languages, and they have like a different inner style of conducting the energies of their inner private sphere. There could also be differences in the way they were raised or the way the mother archetype brought nurturing to this moon situation. So in which moon's case there was differences either in upbringing, values, relationship with the mother, or with the archetype that brought that emotional comfort or should have brought this emotional comfort and security. Usually also these two tend to have something in common, different but in common, about either mother issues. There can be something about the mothers or the connection with the mother archetype that for the two of them can be challenging, or there could be like an exaggerated importance around the mother figure, or whatever imprint was made in the subconscious about the mother it does have a tendency to come out in this connection, where the two of you can actually want to mother each other and just have different styles of doing so. And this can also come in the case of a couple having children, where there can be some differences around how they want to raise their child, or how they want to give love to their child, how they want to bring comfort to their child. So again, there's a lot of compromise that it's required. But I noticed that there's a lot of curiosity and interest as well, which is what drives this couple to stay together despite the tense or challenging not understanding or not figuring out the other easily. And usually it's because when they actually stop, being anxious about the need to figure the other out or to understand the other out, and they just connect with that inner knowing that it's our intuitive selves, they decode each other easily. It's almost like they need to move beyond the need. Because the moons are very needy, right? And they usually are very hungry as well. So and insecure at times. So they get insecure around each other because they want to impress each other or know each other or figure out each other's secrets. But with a strategy that might not be the correct one. And so when they actually turn off the need and go more with the flow and the feel that it's instinctual, they usually get it better results and faster results. And they actually find a way that's very unique and tailored to each couple or to each friendship to connect, that would bring a lot of like a rewarding feeling for this connection after a while of it being challenging or just being, a source of friction. This is the type of couple that, one likes to go to the beach and the other doesn't, or one likes the warm summer months and the other prefers winter. One likes the countryside and the other prefers the city. This type of differences. But when we're making life changes like marriage or living in together, having children, this can affect the relationship. It's not something that tends to stop a relationship from happening in the beginning stages, but once they want to come in and create an environment that is more serious to the relationship, like living together or having children or meeting each other's family, things of that nature, then this is when usually the aspect starts to the challenge aspects start to be noticed. There can also be, I've noticed, like interferences with of other women in this relationship. So there can be either some sort of a feminine or female rivalry or interference in this connection coming from each other's side or both. There can be something about the feminine and the connection with the inner feminines, and then how that is projected on the outside. That can happen. They can either have issues of other women trying to get in the way of this relationship, or even their own mothers or mother figures, females of the family that might be against this relationship, or just creating issues in the relationship. I also found that even though they have very different emotional, let's say, preferences and requirements, they get to find fulfillment when they learn about the square and move beyond the square. They actually get to find fulfillment in unexpected places. It's like giving a very exotic taste of something to a person, of something they never tried, and it looks scary or it looks weird, but they taste it and it actually feels good, or it actually inspires in them a feeling that it's different, that it's unusual. And usually as well, these two bring a lot of feelings to the surface. This is the type of couple that gets super sensitive around each other. Like the smallest things can annoy them, or the smallest things can excite them. It's a very emotional, charged relationship. A lot of feelings. Sometimes there's so much feelings and so much sensitivity, right? With the two moons conversating with each other, that this can also be a problem, where it's like the emotions overwhelm the connection, and the rational, more detached aspect of thinking and observation can get to be clouded by emotion. It's a very unusual thing that happens in this synastry, in this chemical, combination, that it looks on the outside that's not going to work, but they find a way to make it work when there's a degree of, as well, of emotional maturity. I don't see it as something how you call it, like impossible. Actually, I don't see any aspect, but especially with moon square moon, it's just that it's gonna be annoying for a while, and as the two involved don't mature, or one is more developed and the other is less. But in that case, if one is more developed than the other, it can also work as one pushing the other to an understanding or an awareness that they didn't have before. Because remember, the moon also speaks about our subconscious. So one can instigate profound awakenings and discoveries within our own subconscious.